Hello there, and welcome to episode 1 of a brand new scale modelling podcast, where we will definitely start the show by talking about scale models. But by the end of the show, we could be talking about absolutely anything at all. So this is Styrene with a chance of meatballs. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, whatever time of day you're listening. Welcome everybody to a brand new scale modelling podcast. Styrene and Meatballs with me. I'm Graham, Black 73 Cat. Him over there, he's called James.
I'm James, model officer.
The model officer. The guy below me is Carl, otherwise known as
Making Models.
And the handsome brute in the opposite corner. There's the wonderful Steve, also known as
Totally Scale Models.
Yay!
Yay! I have to say, before we really do get going, that was a beautiful intro, Graham. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
And if you want to see what the real start of the show was like, stay tuned, because it will be at the end of the
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
It's now a good time to tell you that you're not actually recording yet.
No. Anyway,
yes, very good.
Anyway, so what were you for then? Because there's quite a few scale modelling podcasts around, including one or two that we've partaken or still do partake in.
Yes. To be honest, this isn't really all about models. That's the key.
Yes.
Later we might even talk about Steve's meatballs, but
I can't wait. Steve's going to show us his meatballs as well.
I think there's going to be a bit of massaging of Steve's balls as well. Yes. But he said he was needing a bit of attention. But
Yes.
Yeah. So, Carl, this was your baby. So, tell us what.
Yes. So, we've been thinking about this. Well, I've certainly been thinking about this for quite some time, and it's one of those things that's just sat on the back burner for a year, 2 years. I've seen yourself do the podcast, James do the podcast. We've all done the YouTube thing. I think a podcast to talk about not primarily styrene. It was pretty much so we could talk about anything that's on our chests, anything we want to get off our chests. Pretty much all of us here suffer with some form of anxiety or depression or something like that. So it's to talk about that as well, to highlight, it's not something that you should be shying away from. Something you should talk and share with your friends, because problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. So
I think
just to sit here talk about.
I think maybe a better way of describing it, if you don't mind me saying, is that breaking news here, but we are all men of a certain age. Well, there was a pause dramatically there on purpose. But we all have health issues. Some of them are mental health, some are other. And basically what I think we've been kicking around for a long time is that one of the things we really enjoy is hanging out together. We're good friends. We generally talk a load of crap for no reason. And we thought, you know what? There'll be loads of people out there just like to listen to us dribble about stuff.
Maybe.
In general.
As long as not watching dribble.
Well, yeah. So, we all became friends because of styrene. So that's the link to styrene.
Yes.
And then obviously we all like food.
Yes.
We do. Yes. Especially Steve's meatballs.
Yes. Yes. Steve is renowned for being the Telford chef as well now. So
he is, yes. Yeah. The Gordon Ramsay of Telford.
Yes. For those that don't know what we're talking about, we have usually now at Telford, we treat it not as a somewhere to go and look at styrene. It's actually become more of a social event for us. Where yes, we go and enjoy the styrene and we assist with models for heroes, but it has become a social event where we all get together. It's a year where we can all actually physically be together and enjoy each other's company. And,
Yeah, because that's what we've done the last couple of years now, haven't we? We've done the Airbnb, and it's like when we get back, back to the Airbnb, we can just chill out and talk out the day's gone and all other stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like I say, it is becoming more and more social. Obviously, we go there for the show as well and what have you, the social side of that lot. But for a lot of us, it's the only time we ever actually get to meet up, really.
Yeah, there's going to be 7 or 8 of us this year in the house. So
so I've got to get a few extra pounds. Got to get a few extra pounds ready. So.
So yeah, that's what it's all about. Just friends sitting, chatting, talking about the stuff you'd talk about if you were sitting in the canteen at lunchtime at work. Just, pardon the phrase, but just to sit and bullshit.
Yes.
Talk shit.
I think it's important as well that we get straight in with the at the beginning with if you're listening to this and you want to share or ask some opinions about bits and pieces, there will be links, etc., in
the description,
etc., where you can contact us, give us some ideas, maybe some issues in which you'd like for us to look into and address, for want of a better phrase. But obviously, bear in mind we are not medically trained. We will not issue prescriptions.
I've got my first aid badge,
and KY jelly is not the answer to everything.
We'll also cover, sort of various other sort of interests, subjects, hobbies, and stuff like that. We've all got sort of other hobbies away from modelling, and we know lots of people who, again, are friends of ours who've got some really niche interests and careers and stuff like that, which would like to get on, and maybe 1 or 2 well-known modelers with a secret hobby on the side, perhaps, or whatever. So if there's any ideas, you've got anything you'd like to talk about, that kind of thing, you could drop us a line and let us know what you'd like us to talk about, and maybe even come on here and talk about it with us. That would be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah, the whole point of this podcast was not to be a niche, for want of a better word. We are the people on this podcast. We are going to be the only people on this podcast. No, this podcast is going to be open for people to come and go and join in. If you've got something you want to come on and talk about, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Even within our own sort of circle of friends, when Carl first sort of put this idea out, obviously there was the usual suspects, like the 3 of us who were sitting here now that just love being in front of a camera and talking to people, who jumped up straight away and said, yeah, we'll do that. And then there was a couple of our friends who were like, oh yeah, might be interested, maybe not quite so confident. So they're always already sitting in the wings. And it was just a case of, well, it's open to everyone from the start. But it was just us 4 that sort of floated to the top and said, we'll we'll kick the ball.
Great choice of word.
Oh, no,
what a beautiful way of putting that.
See what I did there?
With the beep, the crew, and thanks for that, Graham.
But as for the chatting rubbish and the waffle and stuff, I mean, even when we were having a few sort of discussions and meetings, for want of a better word, about how we were going to run this thing, I think there might be a bit of a covert recording of one of our just chats where somebody hit record and we just didn't realise that it was recording, and it was quite amusing, and we had a bit of a giggle. I'm saying nothing other than Radox.
So please shut up. Please shut up.
So yeah. Anyway, that's I think that's what we're about, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now we've got that out of the way, why don't we go into what everyone's up to at the minute on the bench, talking about styrene. So we'll start with Steve. Steve, I know you've been busy this last week because you're on half term, and you've actually finished 2 models this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I finished the 1/16th Sherman from Andy's Hobbies.
Yes,
yeah, really good kit.
Myself.
Really good kit. Being the size it is, it's got such a lot of amount of detail on it. You have to read the instructions a couple of times as well, because sometimes they're a little bit, but that's the same with anything, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then I've been filming that, so that will come out at some point.
Oh, nice.
Sometime, I'm not sure when.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I want to build something else, not quite sure, but I want something quick and whatever. So I had the Taken 1/72 hood turret. I think it's a 15-inch turret B.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I sat there over the weekend. Well, I think it was like Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a little bit of Monday, but just short of 2 days really, and put that together. Again, really simple to go together. There's only a few parts.
Yeah,
quite pleased with that. Actually, how it's come out. You can do it as the old original before or pre-Second World War, or you can do it where it's got like something on top of the turret as well. I think it's like rocket launchers of some kind. Could be wrong. Anti-aircraft or something. But I did it without that on top of it because before the Second World War, before she was sunk anyway, my grandfather, late grandfather, served on HMS Hood, so it was quite poignant.
Nice.
I've got the 1/350 scale hood to build, but I'm not sure at the moment. It needs a lot of add-ons, so I would like to try and at some point get my hands on the 1/200. But that is
nice. Okay, so out of them two kits, would you recommend
both of them?
Yeah.
Definitely both of them. Like I said, the hood turret, it's a simple build. It goes together really easily. The instructions are very clear and plain. No problems at all with that. And then the Sherman, it's a bit more complex. It does take a lot of time, but again, at the end of it, worth it. Because I've also got the Taken 1/16 Jeep, and side by side they go really well together.
Yes, I've seen the pictures. For those that are curious about pictures and things like that, especially those that aren't watching on YouTube and listening on one of the other podcast forums, there is going to be a Facebook group that is live at the moment, but it's not open to members yet. If you want to see pictures of all this stuff that's going on, head on over to Facebook and look for Styrene and Meatballs. We shall open that up shortly. And there'll be pictures of all this work and other stuff and bits and bobs. And it is a group, so you will be able to share some of your own work. Maybe we get to show it here. Well, there's something we can discuss and talk about. It's not really talked about it just yet.
No, yeah.
So those, as they say, those watching in black and white, it's behind the blue ball.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Graham, yourself, anything interesting?
Well, if anybody's listened to my good friend James's other podcast, Just Making Conversation, a couple of weeks ago, I guested on that for a 20-minute slot and took up 2 hours of waffle. So, I explained on there that I've been in the doldrums for a little while with modelling, just kind of tickling in for the last couple of years, and then James managed to sort of give me a little prod.
He's good at that.
Saw me Achilles heel and dragged me back into the shed kicking and screaming. He didn't really. I said I was kind of thinking about doing it, and he was on it like a tramp on hot chips, and he just got me juiced up and ready to come back in. And very quickly, I knocked up a couple of 1/72 scale Airfix models. Not fantastic builds, just to get something built and painted. And then I moved on to something which I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, and I've actually started trying to have a go at a proper diorama. So I'm currently building one of the mini art ruined houses. There's various iterations of that. So I'm currently building one of those, which is something I've never done before because it's a vac form kit for a start. I don't think I've ever used anything vac form, possibly a canopy on something, but so that was a bit of a learning curve to do that, and I quite enjoyed it. And now I am about to start painting, and I've got an idea for what I want to do for the scene. I'm pretty much there. I've ordered a few bits off of various websites for sort of street furniture and that kind of stuff. So I've got an idea of what I want to do, and it's making slow progress. I'm working long hours at the minute, so I'm not getting a lot of time in here. And I've also started video gaming again, which is taking up a lot of my time. But that's maybe for another episode. I bought a PlayStation.
How did that come about? I mean, that's a story.
That was an accident.
We'll get into that story at some point.
Crashed into a toy shop. I'll get to that at some point. But I'm building a ruined house. I'm actually following Scott Sutherland, who has the Junkworks channel on YouTube. He's another friend of ours, and he's built a sort of a similar scene to what I'm looking to build. And I was totally at a loss as to how to paint this building, but I watched Scott's video. It's a king tiger that he's built, as the main subject of the model, but he's put one of these ruined houses behind it. So I'm following Scott's sort of tutorial guide thing on that video to give me some ideas on how to paint it, which I hope to start over this weekend if I can. But yeah, that's what I'm building.
Excellent.
Cool.
James?
Cool.
You've been busy boy as well.
I've been fairly busy, yeah. I've been playing with the amazing 148 Sea King from Airfix. I may have two of them on the bench. One is the RAF Rescue Yellow version, and the other one is a very special version for my friend Malcolm, which is in a lovely livery of my own making. I'm not going to go into too much detail because Malcolm, although he's aware of it, he's not aware of it. If you know what I mean, I've hidden some stuff from him. But so I've got that.
Is it Rescue Yellow?
Is it the right yellow?
Sorry, your mic has gone. Yes, it's the right bloody yellow. So the story behind the reason I'm being mocked badly is that although I might have imported a load of paint and got the right yellow, when I chose to build the first kit, I chose the wrong yellow. I didn't realise until it was pointed out to me by a very nice person called Dale.
Was it not that you were like showing Dale?
No,
look Dale, I've just built your very latest kit. It's so wonderful.
No, you don't have to dig the hole for me any deeper. Thank you.
Yes.
There's the fact that he came back to you so straight. It's wrong, yeah.
Yes, brilliant.
As always, you can always be assured with me that I will be an open book. I hide nothing in my life, failures as well, as Dale will tell you. Thank you very much, Dale, for pointing out that I got the wrong colour. Even though Malcolm had told me before I even painted it that I should speak to a certain person who was building one at the time, and he had bought the paint from me. Anyway, now we've got that out of the way.
Anybody who doesn't know who Dale is is he brand ambassador or brand manager for Airfix?
Hang on. Oh, hang on a minute. I just got
so James has got this brand new release.
All these knives in my back.
Goes to Dale, look what I'm building. And Dale went, wrong colour, mate.
Oh, dear.
We've all done it, James. We've all done it.
Anyway, no, I'm happy, proud with the fact that I mucked it up because it's given me the opportunity to build such an amazing kit, which is the 148 Sea King from Airfix for the second time. And then also the other thing to that as well is that I had to get some aftermarket decals, and unfortunately it's given me another 3 schemes in which I may just have to build just for the sheer hell of it. Anyway, it is an airframe which I very, very much like. I will do research in the future and make sure I get the right colours.
Every time I hear you talk about that kit, though, I really, really want to build mine because you do sing the praise of that kit. So does everybody else, to be fair. I've not heard a bad word said about it, really.
It is a lush kit.
About it.
The only thing, I'm not into helicopters, but I do like the look of it, actually.
So the other thing in which I will say, and I'm open about it, as I said, so while you're mocking me, I'm not that bothered.
It's not mocking it all before. It's inclusion.
Yes.
And anyway,
we only do it because we love
you. So when I built the first version,
it hurts us as much as it hurts you.
I did what a lot of. I'm going to ignore you. I did what a lot of modelers do, and didn't read the instructions properly. And I managed to stick some bits in that I shouldn't have stuck on there, and some bits around the wrong way, and all sorts of stuff. The instructions, I have to say, are incredibly good. It's just that if you give it to an idiot, they will pick it up.
There's a bleep.
But yes, there will be bleeps. That yes. we're adults. Thank you. So I've been working on that. I've also been doing a little bit of research, which is very unlike me, because over on the group that I have, we're about to start something called a group build, which I don't want to bring anyone out in hives, Graham. But this is another group build.
He's not a group build virgin anymore, though, is he?
He's not a virgin, no. He's just got to do a proper one, and one that he cares about. But anyway, we're doing a
my little group builder. Yeah, what are friends for?
We're doing assembly ships. So assembly ships are those bombers that went up to create a formation that went off to do the bombing. And I happened to pick up at the weekend a very small show at Shuttleworth. the Monogram B24D, which I'm going to do as an assembly ship, which is all about the paintwork, which I had to do a bit of research for. So, yeah, got a lot going on as usual. How about you, Carl?
You got plenty of putty for that Monogram kit?
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Myself, I have got nothing on the bench at the moment, but I do have 5 kits currently on the go. Ranging from helicopters to tanks to Star Wars A-Wing. So plenty going on. The primary one at the moment is the 1/16th Sherman that Steve has just finished. So quite enjoying that. It's nice to work with big things rather than, well, I wouldn't say small things, but 1/35th is a nice size, but 1/16th, the amount of detail, the amount of things you can do with it. Yeah, it's an experience. Highly recommend doing a 1/16th model.
That's interesting because I tried a 1/24 scale quite a while ago, and for some strange reason, felt quite vulnerable because all of that detail is very, very visible.
Yes. I think the painting is going to be a bit of a challenge because we are all used to working on the smaller stuff. Steve's that he's just finished looks superb. He's done a really good job of that. So I should be asking for some tips and stuff from Steve once I get to the painting stage. So
yeah, by all means. I must admit, as a guide, I did watch Andy's Hobbies painting guide that he did. So I must have watched that a dozen times, and I made sure that I got all the bits and pieces that he used. But it's when you come to that stage, it is about taking your time, and which sometimes is something I often struggle with.
The thing for you as well, Steve, because a lot of the sort of sci-fi stuff that you build is in quite small scale, isn't it?
Small in probably the scale they are, but the actual kits are quite big.
Yeah, but you're talking like 1/44th at times and stuff like that, aren't you? So going to 1/16th must be a bit of a
for the level of detail you get on it. But it was something I'd seen, and I was like, I quite like to look at that. So I went down the line first of all, getting the Jeep to see what that was like, and I enjoyed doing that. So it was just like a natural progression. So
for the
Carl, you will enjoy it because it's a lovely kit.
For the legal purposes, I believe it has to be referred to as a 4x4 utility truck.
Yes.
Yes. The 4x4 utility truck. Yeah.
It was something like that, wasn't it? They weren't allowed to call it a Jeep because it wasn't licensed, so they called it a 4x4 utility truck or something.
I don't think at any time did Steve say he'd done painting detail on his Willy.
No willies. No willies were harmed.
We've not breached any contracts or any patents.
Interesting fact, by the way. Allegedly, it might not be true, but it might be an urban myth. Do you know where the name Jeep comes from?
Go on.
Because obviously it was a Second World War vehicle designed to be sort of quickly repaired and turned around and bodged together if it needed to be. So it was constructed with just enough essential parts.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Jeep. Yeah.
A little bit like a larder then, in that case.
No, as opposed to the modern Jeeps, which look like the bit of blancmange.
I actually bought a Jeep. I got a Grand Cherokee when the second year we'd moved to Scotland.
Oh, they are nice.
Because the first year we were in Scotland, we had 4 foot, 5 foot of snow where we were living. And the wife was like, no, we need a 4x4. Need a 4x4. Must have a 4x4 for next winter. And we've been here now coming up to 20 years.
And it's never snowed like that.
The most snow we've had is about half a foot. The Jeep lasted, I think, 3 years, and it's one of those cars that couldn't get past a garage without pulling in for some sort of repair.
Yeah.
So it didn't last. It didn't last more than a couple of years, and it was
They are
gone.
very cool looking things, though.
The thing was huge, and it could get through the snow beautifully. You know, you could get through like half a foot of snow with no issues. So,
yeah, sadly.
Talking of, I'm actually going car shopping tomorrow.
Ooh,
nice. What are you buying? What are you looking at?
I'll show you later. James has seen it. James' wife's seen it, and she doesn't like it. She's been told off by James's wife. Yes, because it's a 2-door coupe I'm going to look at. You know,
Ooh.
it's a late midlife crisis, shall we say?
The last time I saw you in person, you were driving your Jag.
Yes. Yeah. The Jag went because both turbos blew.
Ooch.
Wasn't if I remember correctly, wasn't the Jag a little bit like the Jeep? It could get past a garage without pulling over something.
No, to be fair, the Jag, the first 4 or 5 years that I owned it, I actually did really, really well. And then it slowly started to creep over that hill and decline. And by the end, it was like every 2 or 3 months it was in the garage for something. So, and finally, the death of it was one turbo went, they replaced that turbo, and as soon as they fired it up, once the turbo was reinstalled, the second turbo went. So it was like, nah. That's enough.
Time to go.
So, time to go, yes. And I bought a Ford Mondeo.
Oh, well, Jaguar was the same car underneath, isn't it?
It is exactly the same chassis.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I had a Mondeo Estate. Good cars.
Very good cars. Yeah. So, just thought I'd drop that in there.
There you go. Nice. So, your tank is your main build at the minute?
Tank is the main build at the minute. The best part of the build is done. That is the wheels and the tracks. So I'm on to bodywork now. So I've just got the bogies to finish, and then I'm on to the main body. So.
Bogies.
I tell you what, when it comes to the wheels, when you're painting, we bought those pens.
Yes.
The rubber black. I use that. Oh.
Yeah.
I've
seen a few videos on YouTube where people use those pens to do wheels, and it's like, wow, that looks so easy.
Is that the AK paint markers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. We all
I've used a few of the pens now for different things. I've used them on the tank. I used a little bit of them on the hood, and I'm currently building the Spitfire, so I've used them on a little bits of that as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
I like the idea of those.
They are good, but doing the wheels, it must have taken me 5-10 minutes to paint the black, and that was it. I sprayed with the green first of all, and then just went over with the.
Yes, would highly recommend.
Yes, definitely.
Did you think, mark pen, what a load of rubbish? But it is like colouring in.
Yeah,
in your model.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
And a top tip as well, why the AK pens are very, very good. Grab some of these as well. So these are the metallic pens, 10 pens from Galleria. And
can you show them again, James? I've made you full screen so we can actually see.
So you've got 10 pens there. And you've got the aluminium, you've got copper, you've got steel, dark steel, all those sort of colours.
Maybe we could share a link in the Facebook group for where folks can go and get them.
I will do, indeed. Yeah. But I've used those, and they are also very, very good. So
is that Galleria who do the airbrushes?
It is, yeah.
Okay,
it is.
Cool.
And also, though not tested, and I know I may get shot down for this, but I also have heard that Humbrol have also got some pens out, which are meant to be relatively good as well. So I actually saw them in Hobbycraft about a month or so ago, and meant to pick them up and forgot because I was busy doing something else at the same time.
Tomorrow.
Interesting.
But I'm going to pick some up and try them. But these metallic ones, they're a must. If you
and how much will they have interest?
Sorry,
how much were they?
So these were, I might be wrong. I will double check, but I think it was around about £25 for 10 pens.
Okay.
Very, very good value. Amazon is where you can go and get them and get them direct from them. I will tell you now, I got my pens and I ended up having 2 of the same color. So I contacted them, and within 24 hours, they sent me a whole new batch.
Wow.
So customer service is phenomenal. Very, very good over there.
That's a point. Did both of you send off for your replacement black?
Yeah, I've got mine.
Yeah, mine's arrived as well.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about pens as well, gone off on a bit of a tangent. Apologise, but I'm gonna.
That's what it's about.
I will take a picture of this, but the box of AK comes, as Carl has shown, in a very nice box with an insert of the pens, which I'm showing now to the camera, which is a nice foam insert, but I've cut it down and put it into a drawer. I have actually gone and purchased some new foam, which I will put a link up to, etc., which I'm going to cut the spaces for the pens again in the new foam, so I can then put the Galleria ones in as well, because obviously there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I think it's 16 or 16. I think it is each tray, and you have to cut it down to get into the drawers from EBMA that I've got. But I've got some foam which is black on the top, red underneath, which I'm going to cut and put into the drawers. Which, if it works, I'll let you guys know and give you the link.
Nice.
Gone off on a tangent there.
I do like the idea of those. I'm curious about the Humbrol ones though, because I'll tell you for why. And obviously, in my previous iteration of podcasting, I think I might have been quite vocal about Humbrol products on the odd occasion. Certainly remember one specific show when one of my co-hosts was very vocal about Humbrol products.
Humbrol historically do have a bad rep.
Yes. Now, I suppose we could discuss this. So did Airfix until a couple of years ago. Airfix are absolutely smashing it with all their new mold kits now.
Yes.
So I would be very curious to see what they can do with paint on the Humbrol side of things. Because if Humbrol are making forward moves as much as Airfix themselves are, I think we could have some interesting stuff there. So those pens will be interesting to try.
I'll give you, is it Generation 3 stuff?
Yes. So basically, I'll put some more meat on the bones for you. So basically, they've got a pack of 6 acrylic pens, which are weathering pens. So the colours, I'm just quickly looking online because I didn't have this prepped in any way, shape, or form. But the colours are
just for those that are while we're waiting for James. That is going to happen a lot here because the whole idea of this is we don't know where we're going to go with this conversation.
It's just ad hoc, isn't it? We just do it.
Yeah. So you've got your 6 colours, which is dark grey, light grey, natural wood, rust, grassy green, and khaki. Which is the weathering pens.
That's a good mix.
Which is a good mix.
Colours, actually.
So and they retail about £13 ish.
Okay.
Hobbycraft have actually got them for £11. So that's not too bad. But the reason I was intrigued by them was the thought of, because obviously there's lots of weathering products out there, but they're generally pencils, not pens.
Yes.
So just be interested to see how that works. So I'm going to pick some of those up and have a look.
Seems to be a lot of, obviously, because I've sort of been off the scene for a little while until a couple of months ago, and there seems to be the new sort of shift. I mean, the watercolor pencils were out for quite a while, and I remember they got mocked quite heavily, but. I do a little bit of colouring as well, so I'm because a lot of people say, you can just buy watercolour pencils from like the Works or something for £2 instead of paying like £25 for 5 AK ones or whatever.
They don't work as well.
Exactly, yeah. There are pencils and there are pencils. I mean, my colouring pencils.
It's the same thing because I think me and Carl got the same set.
Yeah, my colouring pencils that I use for colouring in colouring books. They were really expensive, and there's a reason why, because they're much better quality than what you get from WH Smith's
or Lidl.
Yeah, exactly. So they were all sort of coming in, but then as I've come back, there's these there's a move towards the markers. I mean, the Molotov chrome pen and that kind of thing have been around for a while, but the paint markers are a new thing, and also the gouache that lots of people are using now, and that looks really interesting. I was watching Rick Roller gouache. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So gouache works like an oil paint, but it's water-based. And it works in a very, very specific way. Rick Lawler's done a great video on the AK channel, or it might be on his own propaganda channel, I can't remember. But he's done a really good demonstration of the new AK range of gouache, Gouache. Have you got some, James?
No, so I actually got some Winsor & Newton water-based oil colours.
I've seen those.
About 6 years ago.
I think gouache is a bit
Is it
different.
that ages ago?
Yeah, it's a long.
Yeah, I think it's different to that, mate.
But I don't know if it's. I have no idea if it's.
Yeah, check out. It's either Propaganda, which is Rick Lawler's own YouTube channel, or he also does promotional stuff for AK Interactive on their YouTube channel as well. So it's either there. If you look at Gouache, gouache. And it's a specific type of paint, and it looks really good for weathering. Very, very clever how it works. Just down to the way you can actually, because unlike oil paints, I think you can, once it's dry, you can reactivate it with water, but you can put anything else over the top of it. So you know, obviously with oils, you've got to be careful because it could react with anything. It's very clever stuff. Very clever.
Interesting. I've not heard of that.
No, me neither.
Yes. There you go. But those marker pens, I think I might have to put them in my basket.
Yes.
Yeah, we got them at Telford last year, so the AK ones. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Humber ones are going to be like. Because like you say, the weathering ones, you normally use pencils for weathering, so a weathering pen.
Yeah.
I just genuinely haven't seen weathering pens.
No.
In colours, in markers.
Because there's an old school method of weathering using like thin down acrylics, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I wonder if, so I don't want to say because it's Humbrol and they're quite old school, or they appeal to an old school market. I wonder if it is, if it's acrylic based stuff, which is interesting until you need to remove it. Is it?
It is acrylic paint.
See that's interesting until you need to remove it, because with oils, with watercolor pencils, with these gouache things, you can remove it if you mess it up. You commit with acrylics and you're committed. There's not much you can do once you've
not unless you're taking everything off.
Yeah. It's something in which I'm going to definitely have a play with, because like I say, I mean the AK marker set that I got, the colours are great and the pens are great. But I just wondered if they'd pulled one out of the bag, so to speak, and gone down a slightly different avenue. I would assume, I mean, I don't know for a fact. I mean, I could reach out and ask them, actually, I suppose. But I would assume it's the second gen paints that they're using, but watered down and put in a pen.
Or maybe it might be a bit soon in the process to think this, but maybe one of our many, many, many listeners might have already used them and could stick it on the Facebook page at
Styrene and Meatballs.
Hey.
Yes, that would be superb. If someone's used them, please.
Yes, let us give us some feedback.
A little bit of group knowledge, please. Thank you very much.
With your blip.
Yeah. So, what platforms are we going to be on? Wow. So, obviously, the primary is going to be this pre-recorded, because this is not live. This is pre-recorded. Will be on the YouTube channel, which is Styrene and Meatballs. You obviously already found it because you're here watching.
Yep.
We are going to be on other platforms as audio only. The specific ones are still being discussed, but if you're listening on one of those, obviously that is one of them. So
it'll be all of the normal culprits.
Yes.
I figured that all out, and so basically, once we've uploaded our first episode, then it'll be on Spotify, it'll be on Apple, it'll be on across all of the main ones, and some other ones as well. So, once we've got the first one uploaded, then we can manipulate things a little bit better.
And something else that we have been talking about, obviously this is going to be a very family orientated. Yes, there are going to be slip-ups in language. We are all grown up, an elderly gentleman here, apart from Graham. Graham's only 14, just in case you didn't know. Just run a very hard life. So this is going to be a family orientated podcast. However, there has been discussion that we might do an after hours podcast, which will probably come under the name of Styrene and Meatballs with some gravy, or with gravy, which will be a little bit more adult orientated, and we'll probably go into a little bit more darker places with the chat. Nothing overly bad or anything like that.
No,
but yeah, maybe a little bit more serious and a little bit more grown up. So watch this space. Like I say, that is still something we're discussing and talking about. So, and again, like Graham said towards the start of the show, if you've got any ideas that you want us or topics you want us to talk about,
people you'd like us to interview.
Yes, we are thinking of having a bench.
Yeah,
we're also thinking of, what was the other idea we had for Steve?
Yes, so
we've dropped Steve.
I have some named Meatballs. Yeah, drop me it. So I am currently on a diet anyway.
Me too.
So, and I am a chef. So what I'm going to try and do is not every month or however often we do this, but every now and then put in some video / recipes and doing them. And we're going to chuck those in. And then they're just there for you to watch if you want to. You know, you don't have to, obviously. But yeah, so I think it goes without saying that the first recipe is going to be meatballs.
Got to be.
Chocolate cake for all us diabetics.
I don't want to worry anybody at all. I don't want to worry anybody at all. Although we've given him the handle, so to speak, of the Mankini chef. There are no Mankinis held or harmed in the making of this podcast or any videos. So
I've already ordered it and it's on its way.
Oh well, I hope you got the wrong address. Maybe I go to my next door neighbour, Mark.
A nice lime green colour.
Oh yeah, that suit Mark. Yeah, love that. Yeah, I'll let him know it's on its way.
It's got extra decals on it to show you where to put the meatballs.
Yeah, arrows. Yeah.
Oh, talking of Mankinis, that was one of the forfeits at one of the rugby nights out we had on the way back. We went to another rugby club. They were hosting us for the day, and one of the things had got a forfeit for spilling a drink or something, and that was his forfeit, to wear a Mankini on the bus all the way home.
Oh,
it's a horrible, horrible sight, but funny, but horrible.
Years. Many years ago, but not now. Not these days. Wouldn't inflict that on people.
No. So just make you gentlemen aware, we are doing quite well. We have been going almost 45 minutes. That's pretty much flown by.
Yes. Yes.
So we are aiming for, what did we say, around the hour mark, give or take 10, 15 minutes.
Roughly around about that.
If conversation dries up and we run out of things to talk about, we will just end the show. So
yes, definitely.
And that will be hard with Graham, obviously, who could talk to 2 or 3 hours without anyone else getting involved.
We have some little stings sort of lined up, and there's one that we've put together specifically for me because I do tend to waffle a lot, and it goes.
Please
shut
up. Please shut up.
There.
Yeah.
There you go.
Please shut up.
So that is there for us all to press. So if anybody is waffling at any time and you hear,
please shut up.
Why is it cutting off?
There might be two of you pressing the button.
All
okay.
right.
Please shut up.
There you go. That's why. So yes, if you hear that, we've all agreed this beforehand, right? We've agreed this because we had to say, we said, if we're going to put this in, if any of us presses that trigger, nobody can get offended because it is a sign that, listen, mate, you're waffling, shut up.
Yeah.
So if any of us are going a bit over the top with the old droney waffle, you may just hear that. And you might see daggers shot across the screen at each other. But it's all in good spirits. It's fine.
Yes.
Of course there's not going to be any daggers across the screen.
No.
Like when we start talking about yellow.
They're all in my back from earlier. They've got stuff thrown across.
They've already been given out today.
That's an offshore thing as well, but probably not just offshore. That if you're getting a pat on the back, be careful.
Oh yeah,
because someone's making a recce for a stabbing.
Yeah.
And of course, we've got our own music thanks to the wonderful James who organised that. You heard it at the start of the show, so be prepared to get annoyed with it. This is the one. And we'll shut that up.
But the good thing is, it comes in lots of different versions.
Oh,
So,
happy and jolly, just like us.
yes.
We could get just really carried away with any of the buttons at any point, just to be annoying. And nothing better than someone whispering in your ear as you're trying to speak.
Please,
Hey, there we go.
please shut up.
Yeah, it's the best £40 I've ever spent. Don't care what you're saying.
Yeah, it's really good. That's really good. That's really good.
So for our first podcast, we wanted to sort of introduce ourselves, introduce the format, understand what we're all about. We wanted to give you a rough idea of what to expect. Obviously, we've not gone off about meals. We've not gone off about tangents too much. We've been quite basic in what we've done. So, for those of you watching in Technicolor on Apple iPod way,
Apple iPods.
Apple iPods. Oh, Jesus Christ! Hang on, how many Guinnesses was this? Yes.
Do you not read the
script? Script? What do you think? This is a YouTube channel? You don't do scripts.
No.
Yeah, so that's our introduction anyway. So drop us a line at all the relevant places that you'll see in the description below.
Yes.
And let us know what you think, what you'd like to expect, etc., etc., etc.
Some nice constructive comments on what you'd like to see and what you'd like not to see.
That'd be good. Also, aside from on this particular environ, you can see the four of us in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
In another forum.
Yes.
It's just under 3 weeks. Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I will remember to mention it. So if you weren't aware already, which I don't know where you've been hiding, but there is a small event going on globally on the 14th of March, the 48 and 48, which we are all involved in. Even Graham's been pulled in from out the wings under the bus.
Kicking and screaming.
Oh, screaming all the way. He may even be building something within the 40 hours. You never know. He's now holding up a 1/16 Sherman. I don't know why.
Been shopping.
He's been shopping. He's got his. That's your mankini come through the post.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm going to build the mankini.
Yes.
Lego one.
If you want to know a little bit more about the event, there is a web page for it. It's 48-48.org. It gives you a rundown of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and who's doing it, and when we're doing it, and also, much more importantly, who's given us loads of stuff to auction off to earn a bit more money for the charity Models for Heroes.
Yes.
And if you don't know anything about Models for Heroes, there is a section there telling you, or at least sending you, to the Models for Heroes webpage itself, so you can find out a bit more and support them in any way that you possibly can. Yes. We're hoping to raise something in the region of £10,000 this year, maybe a little bit more if we can push. We've got some exciting lots coming in from all around the world, literally. Yes. We have 3 auctions, one in Australia, one in the UK, and one in America. If you live in those regions, bid, and bid a bit more. If you live outside the regions, this doesn't stop you from bidding, but just be aware you will pay the postage as everyone else will. So if you decide to buy something from Australia, it will cost you a lot to get it to you. But we'll take your money, not a problem. ICM, Airfix, Revel, Edward are just some of the companies that have donated a shed load of stuff to us. Rubicon as well, for those that like something a little bit smaller. We may or may not have some airbrushes as well in all 3 regions, and we will have undoubtedly some unique stuff in which you cannot get right now. So lots to look forward to, and also, of course, we ask you, if you wish to build a model from the start. Don't have to finish it, But from the start, within the 48 hours, come and hang out with us in the Discord group or on the YouTube channel or any other way in which you can hang out with us. Have a laugh and a giggle. Buy some merch, which is on the 48-48.org website, which I may have mentioned before. Carl spent at least 2 or 3 minutes getting all that put together.
Yeah.
It was a lot longer.
Got my apron. The aprons are really
Aprons,
nice.
T-shirts, hats, bucket hats, beanies. Shower curtains were not possible this year, I'm afraid. But there are door hangers.
Got clocks and socks.
Cocks and slocks, yes. Definitely.
Cocks and slocks. What on earth, cocks and slocks?
Don't know, but it sounds like a good night out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Dear.
Something you get in the Midlands, apparently. Anyway, but yeah, come and check it out. Please get involved. We have lots of people from all around the world, literally most countries, get involved. And this year, I think we've got a few more than we normally have from different places too. So that's the shout out done.
It's my first one, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, where have you been?
Because it's a group build thing, isn't it? So it always scared me away. But now that I'm not a group build scaredy cat anymore, unless it's like those silly brightly coloured planes that you're talking about, no, they can go get in the sea. Not literally, of course, because that would be horrible. But yeah, no, yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yes, because we did mention at the beginning about the sort of the mental health sort of slant, and which of course ties in very well, and is indeed why we are all in some way involved with the wonderful Mr. Malcolm Charles and Model for Heroes, because that's what that's all about. So yes, I would definitely advocate that you check out Models for Heroes as well, and then come and join us on the 14th of March to make and donate a shed load of cash.
Yes,
to help the good folks out there around the UK and indeed around the world.
But you'll be glad to know if you've got an itchy feeling in your wallet right now and you think you could donate something right now, the website 48-48.org, go to the donate page and you can donate either through Just Giving or PayPal Me.
Yes,
it's open, it's ready. We want to take your money.
For anybody,
go on.
I was going to say, for anybody watching, the on the screen there, where if you look at James and you see that lovely, and I can say this because I am a fellow Baldy, that lovely shiny dome that is there, that's a cap, because on the night of the 14th of March, he will remove that cap, which will reveal long straggly locks and his sort of North London, South Essex, Shire, wherever it is, accent changes to Irish, and he starts banging the desk going, "Give us your bloody money."
Some people are not old enough to get what you've got.
Not at a certain age, you will not understand what that means.
I don't want to frighten any children at all while listening to this, but I just want to clarify: there is no cap on my head. The only hair is on my arse, and my arse is not coming out on the 48. Sorry. And on that note, we bid you a good night, a good evening.
No. Whoa. Before you go, folks, everything that we have spoken and talked about this evening will be over on the Facebook group with pictures and all the rest of the nonsense.
Yes, baby.
And on that note, we bid you adieu. And thank you very much all for listening to this very first and very unique podcast. Here is hopefully to many more. Yep. And I reiterate again, if you want us to talk about anything specific, let us know. If you don't want us to talk about anything specific, let us know.
If you want us to,
please shut up.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Not banana crisps, though. We don't talk about banana crisps. They're a non thing.
They're a non-food group.
No, they are awesome.
Anyway,
on that note, good night, folks, and we will speak to you soon. Press the button, Steve.
Bye. Because you can cut this out, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But we're live.
Live?
Alive,
My arse went then.
I think I'll actually leave this bit in.
So yeah, so